Hi, y'all. This is Pam at Pink Dragonfly Wings, and I hope y'all are all having a totally awesome day. I am having a great day. I went to the orthopedic surgeon today, and he dismissed me for 6 weeks or 6 months. I'll have to have my 6 months checkup, which will put me at a year, and then I'll be done with that. He said everything looks great, looks good. I'm doing good. I graduated from physical therapy on Wednesday, so I don't have to do that anymore. They said I'm doing great, doing good. And there we go. So, at least for the next little bit, all I have to worry about is getting my taxes done. Let's see if we can straighten that up just a tad. Okay, so that's going to be my next project, and it is the one thing I would rather do just about anything, anything than having to do my taxes. Let's see if I can turn this little light on and see if that will help us get a little bit better clarity here. Well, you have to know how to turn it on. There we go. That gives us a little bit more light, so maybe that'll work. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to make a pocket. Actually, it's a multi-pocket, and I am so sorry, but I honestly do not remember. I saw this somewhere. I don't know where. And then I changed it up a little bit and blah 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 and did my thing, and so I don't know. But anyway, this is a 5 pocket deal. A 5 tag pocket. A 5 tag 5 pocket piece of ephemera. There we go. That'll get it. Anyway, and this one is designed to, so I paper clipped my large tag. I put tape on here so I would remember this was designed to fit flat down on my page. So that's not big enough for my page. Let's get a piece of paper here. There's my little paper that I got to use as a sample thing. So this is your page. This is or about the size of the pages that I use in my journal. It's 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that's folded in half. So that makes it 5.5 this way, I think. 5.5 by 11. No, by 8.5. 8.5 by 5.5. And that fits in my 6x9 journals just fine. So this is designed to fit on here, but it's not going to fit on this kind of page. It's going to have to fit on a fold out page kind of thing. So I'm going to make this a little smaller when I do this one so that it will fit on a page in my journal. So we're going to cut it down just a little bit. But because I wanted it to be able to glue down somewhere, and probably because this one's a little bigger, I'll have to do it on, let's see if I have my Ephemera book here, so we can use it just as a sample, because the covers are a little bigger, and I will probably have to put this on the back cover. It will fit fine back there, but it's a little big for the pages, so I can put it on the back cover or the front cover, however I want to do it. But I am going to make it a little smaller this time so that we can use it on a page in our journal. Alrighty. And like I said, I put tape on here so I would remember this is to be glued down. It's not a pull out. So I didn't worry about how the back looked. And then I have a tag back here that slides down in here, but I wanted to keep the tag and the pocket together, so I got a little paper clip to put on here and hold my little paper clip on my tag so I know those go together. Then I have another tag here, and I didn't do anything to the tags really. I just left them. You could put paper on them, you could cover them, you can do whatever you want to with them. But I have 2 of those. Well, and I'm functioning without my glasses. I would say that I'm not functioning well, but I had to take my glasses in to get my prescription changed, and I wanted them put back in the same frame, so therefore I had to leave my glasses with the prescription place to be able to do my glasses. Anyway, so I'm kind of functioning blind here. But this tag and this tag are the same size. Then we have a little side tag over here that comes out here. It's just a smaller one, and it fits right in here. And then we have an upside down tag down here holding another little tag. Okay, so we are going to make one of these today. So I'm going to put our little prototype up here, or little sample, or whatever you want to call it, so I can look at it, provided I can see it. And then I have all my nubbin stuff in here that I had chosen to maybe do this with. So we'll see how it works and how many times we have to change. And there you go. So I am going to get some book pages, because now that is one thing I did learn on this one. On this one, I used some coffee dyed paper that I had done. I did a whole volume of a book with in coffee dye. But when the coffee dries on this paper, it made the paper really brittle, which is why I put the washi tape on here as a little bit of a reinforcement. So, depending on how you do your coffee dye and what kind of book pages you use and that kind of thing, you may or may not want to specifically use this for that paper for this project, or you may just be prepared to reinforce this, because these craft things, I mean these tags, are going in and out of here, and so we want to make sure that this crease right here is strong enough to withstand that over time. So there's my little paper. And so I'm not saying you can't use it. Please, if that's what you want to use it. Just be prepared to reinforce it a little bit. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that on this one this time to make it a little better. So just a word out that that it might make it a little more fragile. So I'm just going to get a couple of book pages in here, and I want book pages that have writing pretty solid on both sides. I don't want any of the white. It doesn't matter what it says. You're not going to read any of it. But just, whoops, got a little carried away with that one, didn't I? So there we go. And I'm going to just put that right back under there. We're going to need, oh, actually, I need 3 pages. And I can use one of these for that, because it's not going to show. All right, so there we go. So we're going to need 3 pages. One for this flap, one for this flap, and one for the back. Okay? So we're going to line up all of our pages. I'm going to put all of the torn edges on one side, so when I cut them off, I cut off all 3. Now, all right, our pages for our journals, remember, are 5.5 by 8.5. This pocket is 7, fine on the length, and it's almost 6. So we're going to have to cut off just a little bit of this. I would like to maybe cut it down to 5 inches. And then that will be sure and give me plenty of room. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this down. Let me get my little cutter here. We're going to cut all of these down to 7 inches. So I'm going to mark as soon as I can find a marking tool. So we're going to cut this off right here at 7. I think I'll cut an inch off the bottom and an inch off of the top. And then we are going to cut it at 5 inches. So I think I will do 1/2 inch on this side, 1/2 inch on this side. Doesn't really matter. You're going to cover it up anyway, but I kind of want it to be a little bit even. So let's cut this off. Well, I can't cut that off first because it won't fit in my little cutting machine because it's just a little bit too long. So we're going to cut off this one. Now we can cut off this one. We'll keep going around and cut off this one. And for some reason, I think that I mismeasured or missaw with my poor little eyes here that are not working very good without my glasses. So we do have 7, so this is not anywhere near that. So there we go. All right. How big would this be on our paper? It will be perfect. So we may have to adjust our tag sizes, but that's okay. We can do that. All right. So on the very first one on the back, I am going to turn it over and put a thumb punch. Get my circle punch, and I'm going to put a little thumb punch here so that people will know that this is a pocket and there will be something back there. So we're going to have that one as our back page. And then we're going to have these two. And we are going to turn them so that they look like this. We are going to take the first one and we're going to take this corner and fold it down. And I apologize that I have to get so close to the page to see what I'm doing. But we're going to make a little point here, just like this. Okay. And then somewhere in all this rigmarole stuff, I have bone folder. Okay. So we have that one. It's going to fit on the top like this. So we are going to take this corner and pull it down, just like we did on the other one, except the other direction. Okay. There we go. Now, I am going to go ahead and ink this because I do like to ink when I can find my ink and my little doobie-dobby here. And I'm going to go ahead and ink it now because I'm not real sure where I'm going to need ink later. And if I need to cover it up, I can just cover it up. That's not a problem. And I just need to ink up the front of this. This is going to be fixed on the back. Doesn't have to be all that neat and fancy because we're going to cover a lot of it up. Get that down. And I think that while I'm thinking about it, I will go ahead and put my glue down. Not my glue, my tape. And that way I will remember that this is to be glued down in the book. It is not a slide in, slide out kind of thing, because I'm not going to decorate the back. I'm just going to decorate this. And I'm just putting this on here really more as a reminder to myself. When I get ready to put this on here, I will also glue this because I don't really trust the double-sided tape to last over time. But we only want to put it on 3 sides. Don't put it up here because our tag eventually is going to go down in here. Now we're going to have to cut it down a little bit because our pocket is a little smaller, but we'll do that when it comes time. Alrighty, and then we'll go ahead and ink these. Just because it's easier to go ahead and get it done because my glasses are gone, so my brain has gone with them, and sometimes I forget to do things. So, and this is something that you can do as your choice. Now, I am using a newer book, and so my pages are not quite as fragile as they were on the sample one. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how I intended to do it anyway, so that if you get ready to use the coffee dyed paper, you'll have that idea. But you do or don't have to. It's up to you. Use the washi tape that I'm going to use. That's entirely up to you. But I have a basket. If y'all watch my videos, you'll see that here in one of my recent videos, I put my basket up here so you could see, and it's full of washi tape. I got to get rid of some of this washi tape, so I got to start using it. So we'll put this back over here. Now this is how our book is going to be constructed. Okay. So we're going to do all of this. Now, you don't have to put paper on it. Excuse me. You don't have to put paper on it if you don't want to. You can certainly leave it just a pocket, just a book page, and that's cool. It looks fine. It's very pretty. You would have these little things would go in here, and they would stick out so they can contrast from the paper. That is entirely up to you as to what you want to do. But for me right now, I am going to cover this with paper just because I wanted to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this paper on here, and I'm going to line it up pretty close. I don't think I'll leave a tab up there. If I leave a little bit from this cardstock, then this book page over time gets real worn down. So what I'm going to do is just leave it like this, and I'm going to put this on here. So let's get our glue here, and we will, I guess I need to do that. Okay, let's go glue stick, or it's not a glue stick, but my glue bottle. And I'm not real sure how down here we'll go, but, and you don't have to use the whole piece of paper if you don't want to, but me and my glue have gone, it's getting hot here, so we're coming out of winter, and so maybe with the warm weather coming, maybe it'll come out a little better. There we go. That's much better. Just cover that on here. And because this has words on it, I wanted to make it, let's turn it upside down and do it upside down so I can see a little better what I'm doing. And put that on there. And then we'll use our bone folder to kind of smush this glue down just a little bit. Smear it around so that it, make sure it gets good and adhered. And then I will take my scissors here and just cut this off. Right here on the edge. Cut this one off here. You could measure this and probably do great and wonderful, but measurers are not my friend. I don't measure well, so we'll put those in our nubbin bucket. We never know when we might need a little strip, so then that's going to be our back. Let's go ahead and cut our thumb notch while I'm thinking about it, because when I get all this other stuff together, it doesn't leave enough room to really do that. And then we'll go back and just ink up the top of this. I'm not going to worry too much about the sides. Okay, so now that one is ready. These two are going to go right here on top, so this will be behind. Not a big deal. It's just got some cool words on it. Okay, so we are also going to put a piece right here on the bottom. So I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to use this little piece right here. And I'm going to put this right here, just up to where it's going to fold over. So we'll do it about to right here. So what I do with my pencil, I've already lost my writing utensil, see? And then at the end, when I get done, that's why I have 14 pencils laying out here, because I keep losing them. So we'll put this over here, fold this up, cut right there on that mark, save that piece, because who knows what we'll need it for. Put that over there. And then I'm going to put this right here. Now this is going to fold over just a little bit right here, but that's okay. That allows me to make sure I made it tall enough to be covered by this page. So what I'm going to do is go ahead. We're not going to worry about that one. That one's going to be covered up, so we don't have to worry about that one. So we're going to take our glue and just glue right here on the bottom. Put it right up to the edge. And get my glue thingy, my bob here. And then we'll turn this over. Cut this little piece off because that's extra. And then we're going to turn this and fold that back like that so we can see. And we're going to cut that little corner off. Okay? So that it will not get in the way. We'll keep that, put it in our nubbin bucket, and then when we fold this back down, see, it covers it perfectly. So no problem. There we go. Now we don't want to glue this down. We're going to glue this side, but we're not going to glue this side because this is going to be where our up pocket is going to go. Okay, so we're going to have that there. But before we get started on that, we've got to decide what we're going to do about this up here. And like I said, this probably is thick enough that it would probably be okay by itself. But I picked out some green washi, and I thought we would put that on here and do about half, because this one is going to go in a green, basically a green colored journal. Oh, let's put some glue down, because this washi, I've had it forever and a day, and over time it kind of seems to lose some of its stickiness, and so I try, sometimes I forget, but I try to cover it with glue first, and that's just an added protection on longevity, I guess, for lack of a better word. Then we'll turn this over and we'll glue this side. And all this is doing, it is giving some decor, I guess, to the pocket. It is making the pocket pretty. So we have some green on there, and that looks really nice. I'm going to cut this off. And we'll cut it off here. Okay. And then that gives, it doesn't interfere with our pocket at all. We could still open it, except I've glued it down. But it gives a little extra stability to this edge right here, where that tag is going to go in and out, in and out, in and out. And so we're going to do the same thing on this one, on this part right here. So we're going to put another little piece of glue, or a little strip of glue, just to make sure we hold it down. And I do, with this wide tape, I do about half. Now, because on this one, I reinforced the actual page. I folded this up and put an extra book page in here to make it stronger. So this is just regular washi tape size. That's the full tape. so I didn't feel like I have to fold it over. But because I didn't put anything in this one, I want to fold this over to make sure that we get all of the other little pieces of paper that are stuck around on my desk stuck on here as well. So we'll take all of that and put that in our nubbin bucket. And we'll put some more glue here. And fold it over. Just gives us a little bit of strength. Makes it look pretty too. Okay, so there we go. And then we're going to cut this one off down here. And we're, for now, because I am using the thick, well, I could go ahead and do it. I haven't folded it down yet. Let's pull this up just a little bit, just because it's got a little sticky there. And then that's the bottom. So we're going to put a little piece down here on the side. And I'm going to have to put it there. And cut it off here at the top first. Okay, don't get a wrinkle in there. No wrinkles. And then I'm just going to cut this little piece off down here because we don't need that. Okay. There we go. Now then, we'll take this side and we'll put this glue on here. Fold it over. And there we go. Now, we're not going to worry about putting a washi tape over here. I did put it on that one, and you could do that if you so chose to do that. In fact, let's just do it. We have washi tape. We have lots of washi tape. So let's just use up some washi tape. So we'll put it right here. We'll fold this over. Like I said, about halfway. It just kind of helps reinforce all of your edges because you're using older book pages and they're not quite as sturdy. So we don't want our pocket falling apart. So we'll put that right there. We'll cut this one off over here. And we'll glue this. Fold that over. Just kind of helps strengthen just a little bit. Okay. Didn't get that one cut very good, so let's trim that just a little bit. And then when we fold our pocket, it's going to be nice and pretty. Okay. We are going to do the same thing to this one. I have to pull that tape up, but that's okay. That's okay. We didn't glue it. And we're going to put some glue right here. Get our washi. Put it on here. Cut the top. Got so much washi on my scissors that I can't see what I'm doing. And there we go. Cut this off down here because we don't want it hanging out forever. Fold it over and put some more glue on the other side of our washi and fold this in. There we go. Now, because the washi is so thin, it won't matter that it's gone down here a little bit. It'll still be fine. And covers that up. Although, that's a little long. Really don't like that. So I'm going to pull this up just a little bit and trim off a little bit more. Just because I don't really like it sticking out like that. So, okay. That is much better. But I do have a little bit of washi on there, so let's fold that down like that. tuck into that. And we will do this side at the top. Put our washi down. Usually I try to go right to the edge so I don't waste any washi, because you know, certainly you don't want to run out. But because I don't have my glasses, I can't see that edge as well, so I'm kind of extending a little bit for now. So please forgive me for that. But once I get my glasses back, hopefully that will improve. There we go. Got a little bit there on that side. Alrighty, so there we go. We've got that glued, or that is washi taped down. Alright, so we're gonna get ready to put our book together, or our, I guess I'd call it a pocket, except now I've lost my back page. Here it is. So we're gonna have this one, and then this one on top, and we're gonna glue, not right here, because that's where our little side pocket's going to go. So we're going to glue just a little down here on the side and a little bit up here, but I need to leave enough room so that that pocket can go in right there. So I'm going to fold that, and then we'll take and go all the way here, all the way here and here. Put this down. Okay. Okay, now it doesn't matter, you can glue that down if you want to. That pocket is not going to be able to be used because it is going to be covered up by this one. Okay, so we're going to make like a little V here. This one also has to stay open, so we're going to only glue just a little bit here on the edge and a little bit down here, just enough to kind of hold it so that it stays stable. We are going to close this side because this side is going to be facing into the spine of our book, and getting something in and out of this pocket would be kind of hard to do. So I'm going to go ahead and close it so that we're not tempted to do that. Okay. There we go. Now we still have this pocket open. We still have this pocket open. Surely we do. Yeah, right there. We have this pocket, the back pocket, and this pocket. Okay, so now we're going to glue this down all the way around. And just make sure you do it on the edges, because you are going to have some tags going down in here, and we want them to have plenty of room to get in here. Okay, so all right, so now our pocket is made, and we need to work on our tags, and we're going to have to cut them down because I cut this down. But I want to give you the measurements for the prototype in case you want to make one this size. This one, the sample was about 5 7/8 by 8. So 5 7/8 by 8 for the pages. And then we had our tag. The long tag that goes in the back, which is this tall one, is 4 inches by 8. No, not 8. By 8. Actually, it's kind of 8 1/4. So we have one of these. We have two this size, and this size is 6 by 5. little over 5, about maybe 5 1/8. And you have 2 of those, that size. Then we have the small tags that are going to go in the upper side and in the side. This one is, let's see, this one is the bottom tag, and it is 3 inches by about 3 3/4. 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. And the little one is 3 inches by 4 inches. Okay, so those are your sizes if you're going to make this size. But we're going to have to cut these down because they're not going to fit in here. So, and I have ink all over that one, so oh well. So it is as wide right now as our page is. Okay, so for these we're going to need to cut them down about 1 inch. Now I'm not worried about the height because the height is not the big issue. The width is the issue. So we're going to cut this down. We're going to cut 1 inch off of it. And so right now it is exactly 5. So we're going to cut it down to 4. And we will cut this one down to 4. Now you don't have to cut it down that much. You could do 4 1/2. But I just want to make sure that it is going to fit in our pocket. So let's make sure that this one is going to fit down in here, and that is going to give us plenty of room. We'll actually be able to see the washi on this side, and then this one will fit back here. And both of them will fit just fine. Surely it will. I don't know what I have done here. Probably glued something together that shouldn't have been glued. I think it just seeped out a little bit. Okay, so that one's going to go in right here. And I'm going to put it right here below the thumb punch. And then this one will go in the front pocket, and I'm going to lower it just a little bit, but it won't go. So we're going to cut this one off just a tad, about 1/2 inch. We're going to cut it off about 1/2 inch. So it is exactly 6. We'll make this 5 1/2. And then this one can go right in there and fold down, or not fold down, but scoot down in the pocket far enough that we can see there are 2 tags there. Now then, this one is it will be fine as far as the width because it's going to fit in there just fine. But it's a little tall. So I think we'll cut about 1 inch off of the end of this one. Let's see, how do I go about doing that when I can't measure 1 inch on here? I'm going to just do it like that. And there we go. There's more than one way to measure 1 inch. Put all that over there. And now this one will fit down in here. I don't want it to go all the way to the bottom, but it's going to have plenty of room there. Okay. Now this one goes in this little side pocket right here, and it's probably going to be fine except for the length this way, because our pocket is not as big now. So we'll cut it off about to there, which is going to make us a pretty small little tag now. But that's okay. We like little tags too. And I don't know what I cut off of that, but we'll put this right in here and make sure that is going to work. We could probably cut a little bit more off, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. And then this one, I think I may have covered up my hole a little too much here. So we want to open it up just a little. There we go. And that's probably about as far as it's going to go. So we'll cut off about 3/4 of an inch. Okay. So even changing the size is not that big a deal. I want this. There you go. So it comes up. Could go down a little bit more because fitting on the page, what I do, here's this. You are going to have enough room here that this could stick out a little bit down here if you wanted it to be a little bit bigger tag. No problem. That would be fine. Just don't cut as much off your tag. But I wanted the tag to fit above the bottom of the pocket. This one, like I said, could come off just a little bit more, but if it sticks out over here, that's okay. That's okay. That is not a problem. Now then, we're going to get all of our little tags out because we've got to do something with them. And I'm going to get my little thingy-mabobs here. And I have found this little deal here, and I love this little punch here. I'll show you what it looks like. It's this one. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's kind of like it's got a little nubbin right there, and I just think that's cute. So I'm going to do that on the top. I'm going to put the big curve corner punch on the bottom. It just seems to make it slide into the pocket a little better. So let's go ahead and do all of those. Let's see, where are we? Over here. Go ahead and do all the tops of these. And I think I may have done that one sideways. But that's all right. Life goes on in the journal world. Okay, we'll put that back up there. We'll do our bottoms. Okay. Oh, and I've already done that. Okay, so we'll put those up there. Put all these little nubbins. These two pieces can go in the nubbin bucket, but this goes in the trash. In the trash. We have not started saving those yet. So, all right, the next thing we're going to do, you don't have to do, you can do, I do, just because, but I'm going to ink around the edges. You can decorate these journaling cards as much as you want to decorate them, or as little. I am not going to decorate these a whole lot. I'm going to leave them plain. Now, when I get ready to use it in the actual journal that I'm going to use it in, right now, I am trying to build up ephemera for my stash because I don't have any. And, you know, I have always lived by the rule that I make ephemera for the book that I'm making as I go. But it takes forever to do that because not only are you making the book and deciding where to put the ephemera and what kind of ephemera you want to use, but then you're also having to make the ephemera. And so while I was kind of laid up with my knee surgery, I didn't have a whole lot to do. So I watched a lot of videos and saw that lots of people make stuff for their stash and they keep it. And then they need a tag, they go to their stash and they get this beautiful tag. And so now this one is kind of splotted. And so I may have to do something about that to change that because I don't want it to look like it's yucky. So let me get these finished and then we'll work on that. And but anyway, so I'm putting them in my stash. So I'm leaving my journal. I'm making it for journals with a specific color. But as far as specific items on the front of this, when I get ready to use it in the journal, I may put a flower on the front of it, or I may put a mushroom, or butterflies and dragonflies and all of that kind of stuff. So I don't really know how to decorate those quite yet because I don't know what kind of book it's going to go in, what the theme of that book is going to be. So I just leave them blank. Sometimes I'll put lined paper. You know, I have some lined paper somewhere on this desk. And sometimes I'll put lined paper on the back. Sometimes I don't. It just kind of depends. Depends on the journal and how fancy the journal is or how grungy it is. And, you know, I just kind of make that decision as I go. But the tag itself is already made, so I don't have to worry about it. And so that has been a big time saver for me in making my journals because I just go through my stash. I make all kinds of different colors. I use all kinds of different ephemera, all kinds of different stickers and lace and all kinds of things on there. And then when I get ready to use it in my book, I just pick the one that I like best, that fits that book best. So there we go. There we go. So we have all of those done. Now then, we have all of our little tags here. Probably if I would clean this glass off, I wouldn't get little ickies on there, but right now I'm not going to worry about those little ickies. I have my tags. Now then, I have some of this, I don't know really what it is. It's kind of raveled cotton strips that I bought, and I bought this on Etsy several years ago. Could not honestly tell you who I bought them from. I'm not real good about keeping packaging. When I buy things, I want to put them in my stuff, my drawers, my boxes or whatever. And so then I have a hard time remembering who I got them from. So I guess I need to get better about that. So I'm going to make little tab pulls for each of these little tags here. And I'm going to make 5 of them. Probably a faster way to do this too, but oh well. My husband and I are going to go see Dune this weekend, or tomorrow actually. And so tonight, I told him, I said, I think I need to watch Dune 1, Part 1, that came out a couple of years ago, before I go watch Part 2, because I'm not going to know what's going on. So that's our plan for tonight. We're going to kind of have a date night in and watch Dune Part 1, and then we're going to go to the movie theater tomorrow and watch Dune Part 2. So we're really excited about going to see that. And then I am just going to staple these on. Come on. Staple these little thingies on here. And so that's our plan for the evening. And like I said, it's kind of cold and rainy here today. And I love those kind of days. Get my blanket, curl up in my little recliner, and usually watch something on my phone on YouTube, or I play solitaire or something like that. But tonight we're actually going to watch a movie. So I'm excited about that. So we'll put this on here. And I'm using my little Tim Holtz tiny attacher here to put these little tabs on here. And this little thing, I use this all the time. That is the coolest little invention. I have a bigger stapler, but I sure always go to the little one. So, alrighty. Fold that over just a little bit. Put you on here. I'll put the last one on. Okay, it's all kind of rolled up, and when you can't see, it makes it even harder because both sides are frayed, and you can't tell one side from the other, so bear with me. I'm getting there. And we'll put this on this end. There we go. And I'm going to put you down a little shorter. I'm going to have to cut a little of that tag off because it's already sticking out kind of far, so we'll cut that off a little bit. And then I have these little, I don't know what they are. They're kind of like rhinestones, but they're not rhinestones. They're little metal things. Anyway, and I am going to put these on the tops for a little tag to cover up our staples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's just something that I do. Sometimes on a grungy something or another, I will leave the staples visible, and it doesn't bother me to leave them visible. But sometimes when it's a little bit nice or something, I want to make sure that you don't see them. And so I'm just going to put just a little dab of glue, and I'm using my Fabri-Tac to put on here. It works really well with fabric. Do 2 of them. And then these just peel off of here, off of that little piece of paper, and you can just stick it right on there. And it just gives just a little flash to it, just a little something extra. Except sometimes you lose them. What did I do with it? I left it on there. I spend a lot of time looking for stuff that I just had, and I find it later stuck to my shirt or stuck to my pants. I have had them on my face. Okay, now let's go do these 3. And get my little thing here. You could put these on the back of your tags as well, but I don't really worry that much about the back of the tags, so I'm just going to put them on the front. And I'm putting 3 little metal doodobbies. When I started scrapbooking, which then led to junk journaling, I had a friend of mine told me you always do things on your pages in odd numbers. Now, what did I do with the other one? Is it still stuck to the scissors? No. And then see, I lose them. I don't know what I did with it, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to cut another one, and we'll find the other one later stuck to something, and that'll be fine. I'll use it when I find it. So there we go. And that just adds a little bit of whatever. Now, like I said, on these, I did put some stickers and stuff on here because I know what I'm going to use this journal for, and that will fit the theme. These, I don't know. I have some items that I could put on there, but I'm not going to put anything on them right now, simply because I don't really know what I'm going to do. So this one is going to go right here. This one will go right in here. And this one will go back here. So they'll all be kind of stacked up. Now you can cattywampus them a little bit if you want to, like this, so they're not all go in the same direction, and that's cool. Let's see if I can find don't know what I did with my paper clips, but we'll find a paper clip later and make sure we clip that down. And then this one's going to go right here, and I'm pretty sure, no, I didn't do it sideways. There we go. That one's going to fit right there. This one's going to come down here. And there's our tag. Now, I did have a couple of these little things. I love making these little clusters and things, and I knew I was going to do green. And so you could put, this is just made with doilies. You can just put that on there, maybe put a little flower or something on there, or we could use this little butterfly. And I really like the butterfly, but I don't really like the color of green. If it was a different color green, match this sage a little bit better, but it does match the sage a little bit better. It just doesn't match this. So I think I'm going to go with this one and put this one on here. And then I'll get a little flower to put in right there. And I have a bucket with all my little scraps and little things in it, and my glue and scissors and stuff. And a lot of times I sit at night, especially if my mom is visiting, and she and I will sit over there and make these little clusters. And there's nothing to making them. You just put stuff together. And it's okay. Now I have these little flowers here, and I think these will work just fine. I have these little ones may be a little small. Actually, that kind of looks cute. How about if we get my forest moss dauber and put a little green on it, just to, I'm not real crazy about white, stark white, just, it scares me. I don't know why, but it just makes it look like it's too clean and you can't touch it or something. I don't know, but I like that better. We'll put that right there. There we go. So we have our little tag finished and ready for a junk journal to call it home. And these would be really, really fun and easy to make in a mass make, where you could make all of the little pockets, and then you could do all the decorations, and then you could do all the tags, and you can make the tags different. You could make them however. But I think that turned out really nicely, and I'm really proud of it. I hope you enjoyed watching the process. I hope that you will make some of your own. And if you do, put the pictures down in the comments and let me see what you're doing too, because I think it's cool and we all learn from each other. And somebody does a little thing and I go, oh, wow, I've never thought of doing that. And so we learn from each other, and that's the point of doing these. Especially for those of us who live in an area where we don't really have a group, we don't have a place where we can get together and work together with like-minded people very often. And, I used to have a card class that I'd go to with the ladies. Not that I needed that many cards, but I loved the companionship and the camaraderie, and I miss that. And but I just haven't lived here long enough to develop any kind of circle of friends yet. So my circle of friends are y'all, and so I would love to see what you're doing and what you're making and what you're thinking, and let's collaborate and do things together. And I think that would just be wonderful for all of us. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe, share with everybody you know. We need subscribers and more friends. Our family, our circle family, needs to get bigger. So send it out with smiles and hugs. If you get a chance, go check out my online store. I have a little Shopify store. It's www.pinkdragonflywings with a Z on the end.com, all one word. And see, we have some eclectic things in there, and we have a lot of scrapbook things in there. If you do go visit, you can, I say you can sign up for a newsletter. When I first started, I did a newsletter every month, and then I kind of found that I was saying the same thing over and over every month, and so I stopped doing that because I just didn't know what else to do. And but I'm going to try to get that started back up again. So if you go to the store, you can subscribe to our newsletter, and when those start coming, they'll come to you. And if you have any suggestions on the store, the videos, anything, talk to me. Please write comments. I just need to hear from some of you. So with that, I'll let y'all go. Thank you for coming and traveling along with me. I love it. And in the meantime, y'all be creative. Bye-bye. See you next time.